drinking a German beer with a Cuban cigar in the middle of Paris with a Dominican bar. Great head on her shoulder, she probably studied abroad. She transferred to Harvard from King's College in March. She says that I'm her favorite cause she admires the art. Michelangelo with the flow, Picasso with the bar. She's well put together like a piece by Gershwin, Renaissance style. Tonight is
What's up, guys? It's me, Cam Gwynn, talking at you. And for this one, that was So Good by B.o.B. You guys remember that song? 2012? Good year. We were supposed to die that year. Anyway, so this episode, I decided that I wanted to dig deeper into like athletes and like musicians and stuff like that, artists. And I decided to go with B.o.B. because I remember this interview that I watched with him when I was younger, and kind of made me like him more, kind of made me appreciate his lyrics more because I understood where he came from and what his lyrics actually meant. So now that you understand that, what this is going for, this is B.o.B., where he came from. And let's pretend like it's 2010, okay? And 13-year-old me, glad puberty hit. Anyway, 13-year-old me was bumping Airplanes all day, either the original with just Haley Williams or the remix or whatever, part 2 with Eminem. Both of them killed it. But who was B.o.B. before he got famous, I guess, is what we should be asking. Well, he moved to Atlanta when he was like 2 years old. He was born in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. He said he doesn't remember it at all. I mean, he was 2 when he moved to Atlanta. So when he was younger, his childhood was, his family was really, really close. He has a sister and a brother that I know of. And he lived in like a shack, essentially. And he says in the song Arena with Chris Brown and T.I., says, growing up in a house with no stove, no doors, no walls, no windows. And I remember in this interview that I watched from the Adventures of Bobby Ray album, he even says that like they didn't have a fridge in this place that he moved into. They didn't have heat. They didn't have like electrical, really anything. They used a cooler. And then his dad built a fireplace for the heat for the winters, you know. But he accepted it because he didn't know any better, you know. He was young. That's what he says anyway. And so his first like encounter, I guess, with music was a trumpet, and he said he really just liked it because it was shiny. It made cool noise. So that's where it all started, I guess, for him. But he kind of started, as he grew up, started using music as like therapy. He would write down just notes that would turn into raps of just like what was going on in his head, you know. And then his brother told him when he was around in like 7th grade that Joe Budden would write like 15 pages a day. So B.o.B. was like, well, if he's doing that, I'm gonna write 20, you know. And he would like try to write as much as he could. And he says he was influenced by James Brown, Michael Jackson for like the singing aspect of him. Like the song's so good, you know. It's a very fun, hype song, I guess. And he says from a rap standpoint, he really liked Eminem, I should say. So working on Airplanes with him was huge for him, obviously. And he liked DMX a lot, Nas. He was in a group called The Clinic. That's how he kind of like started rapping. And then he kind of went off and did his own thing. The first song that he heard by himself, and this is like mostly how his career started, I guess. First song he heard by himself on the radio in Atlanta was Cloud 9, which is a good song, very, very old. It came out in like 2007. It's 11 years old. Dang. Anyway, he was playing that song, Cloud 9, at Club Crucial, which is T.I.'s club, that kind of led to him getting signed and being able to start up who B.o.B. is. And he's had quite a few albums, or works, I should say. He's got 16 that I found on Apple Music. And it starts off with Who the F is Bob? And that came out in 2009. It's got 24 tracks, and like one track that stuck out to me that I knew from like when I was younger was I'll Be in the Sky, which is, I mean, I like the song a lot. Some of his music I wouldn't just throw out there for anyone to listen to because it's kind of like he's got a certain niche, I guess. That's the best way to put it. So he had Who the F is Bob in 2009, and then also following up that in 2009 said, Hi, my name is Bob. That had 36 tracks on it, had Cloud 9 on it, and that's just where it all kind of started, I guess. And then he came out with probably his best album, B.o.B. Presents The Adventures of Bobby Ray. It's got 12 tracks. It's got Airplanes Part 1 and 2, And then it's got Nothing on You with Bruno Mars in it. Great songs. That album is just sweet. And then he started getting all off, I guess. He went with No Genre, which I didn't know really, and then I listened to Beast Mode off of that, and that song's pretty good. That one came out in 2011. It had 16 tracks on it, and then he also had in 2011 B.o.B versus Bobby Ray. It had 22 tracks on it. I'm sorry, I don't know that one, to be honest. And then he's got Epic, which I did know quite a few songs off of. Five on the Kush with Big Kurt and Bun B, though. That one's like my favorite. It's got 15 tracks on it. That one also came out in 2011. And then in 2012, he came out with Strange Clouds, which has the song Strange Clouds with Lil Wayne. It's got So Good, what we just listened to. And it's got So Hard to Breathe, which personally I love that song. I don't know if it's really as popular as I think it is, but I love that song. And then that's kind of where I stopped listening, to be honest. Like, I listened to a little bit of Underground Luxury because of Headband. You know, I like that song. And then Ready with Future. That's kind of where he started to fall off for me, because he started saying all this flat earth stuff, and he was trying to get a GoFundMe to get $1 million to send a satellite up to prove that the earth is flat. I hope you're doing something. You and Kyrie should get together on that. But he's had a lot of other music that has came out recently too. He didn't really slow down at all. Came out with mixtape No Genre Part 2 in 2014. 2014 he also said New Black, which I like the song Missing off of that album. I don't know much of it, but I do like that song. And then he had Psychedelic Thoughts, which I did not like. It came out in 2015. It's very experimental for him. Very weird. Don't recommend. And NASA with London J. I don't really know much about. It's got 10 tracks on it. Ether, which has that song For Lit, that's got T.I. and Ty Dolla $ign on it. That's a good song. Ether has 12 tracks. And then he had 2 albums come out this year. The Upside Down, which I didn't really know, and then I listened to Is It War and Cream de la Cream. Cream de la Cream I could see people liking, not my cup of tea really. But then Is It War I did really like. And then Naga came out recently by him also. And that's got 10 tracks. I haven't dove into that one really. But so that kind of puts context to who B.o.B is. He was born in North Carolina, moved to Atlanta when he was like 2. Atlanta's all he knows is home. Grew up underprivileged, I guess I should say. And so he ended up making himself what he is through touring with a couple hip-hop groups, playing at clubs, and then boom. And now his sister plays piano in his band that he tours with, and his family is probably living great. So B.o.B, despite kind of looning out a little bit, that's who he is. And if you guys want to know more about a certain artist or something like that, comment it, text me. It's probably mostly my friends listening to this. But anyway, if you did like what you heard and you're new to this, subscribe and hit that little bell. It'll tell you when I'm dropping new, not songs. It sounds like I'm dropping songs. When I'm coming out with new videos. Thanks for listening, guys. If you like this video, like it. Helps me. Easy for you. And Cam Gwynn, I'll play So Good for you. This was Gwynology with Cam Gwynn, B.o.B. Who was he before? See you guys later.